Today I just want to share a couple things that I bought to expand my mining operation here at my home in my garage. As you guys know, cases cost a lot, mining rigs, mining cases, so for me I like to keep it neat, put everything on a nice rig and bolt everything on and be done with it. But since everything's so expensive now, I decided to go a cheaper alternative, which is pretty much getting a wire shelf and a couple accessories to get power supply and my mining cards hooked up on it. So I went on Amazon, looked around, and there's a couple things that I needed I want to share with you guys today. So I bought two things. These are mining GPU adapters. You hook this up on a bracket. The bracket of the graphic card, and it pretty much hangs on a wire shelf. So I think this was like $40 for a pack of 6. A little bit expensive, but still cheaper than buying, spending like $200 on a mining chassis. So I bought this to hang on a wire shelf, and I also bought this, which is a board that I'll show you guys later, that will trigger a power supply. If you have a second power supply, this will help trigger a second power supply on for more mining cards. So let me show you this bracket. So it comes in a retail packaging like this in a bubble envelope, 6 of them in here. So if you open it up, you see there's pretty much 6 brackets total, 3 in here, and then I took 3 out here. So bracket looks pretty good. Looks like it's just a plastic injection molded, and it's got a little set screw here to keep the card in place. So here's the little brackets to hang on a wire shelf, and so this would hang on top of the wire shelf, and then your GPU would be facing this way. So I'll show you guys. So let me remove this set screw here, and I got a video card. So I got this 6900 XT that I'll be installing on a wire shelf. So this is just a reference AMD card. So how it goes is there's 2 holes down here. It pretty much is easy to install. You just pretty much pop it on here like this. And then you would just put this set screw in the center hole right here of the video card. This hole here. So I'll just screw it on loosely for now. So there you have it. So now your video card's secured, and then you can hang it on a wire rack. I ordered a wire rack, but it hasn't come yet, so I do have a wire rack in my garage right now. I just want to get this card up and running, because every day of the card not mining, I'm losing money. So yeah, so this is how it sits. I'll show another video in a minute to show you guys how it would sit on the wire shelf, but it's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. You get 6 of them, $40. It's on Amazon Prime. I'll put the link below. And yeah, it's pretty secure, and it will keep your video card in its place, and it's a great alternative from buying expensive mining chassis if you already have the motherboard, the power supply, and all that stuff, but you don't want to spend too much on a mining chassis. So yeah, so I'm going to go this route with this video card and a couple others that I have coming in. So there you have it. And this guy here, so I'm going to run a second power supply because I maxed out one of the power supplies that's running on my rig right now. So there's 2 ways you can do to trigger your second power supply. They sell a cable where you would hook it up from, it pretty much splits the motherboard connector into a Y, and one side would go to the motherboard while the other side goes to your second power supply, and you power it on, it will trigger both power supplies to go on. The problem with that cable, I had bad experience with the cable melting. I couldn't find a good quality one. If you guys know of a good quality cable, let me know. But I decided to go this route, which is has a relay, SATA connector, and a motherboard connector. So it's just a little board here. So let's see how this goes. Pretty much you would, the primary power supply SATA connector would go here, and the secondary power supply you would hook up on here, and there's a relay here. So when you turn on your PC, this board will recognize power to this guy, trigger the relay to turn on power for your second power supply, and that will power up all your other devices that you have hooked on there. So I'll let you guys, I'm going to use this, I'll let you guys know how this board goes, but that is my plan to see if it's better than using the wire that kind of melted on me. So yeah, so that's the two things. I'm going to hook up these two devices onto my rig with extra space for my video cards, and yeah, I'll be back and I'll show you how I got everything set up. Alright, so I'm going to be putting this video card onto this rack here, because this is the wire shelf that I have. I ghetto rigged two cards without the bracket by Velcro here, but now that I have this bracket, I'll put it here, let it hang down here, and then just run the wire through here for now until my wireframe comes in. And this is pretty much an 8 GPU chassis, but I only put 4 in here, so I could still put like another 6 GPUs in here, but this is an older chassis, it won't fit all the bigger GPUs, so I'm just going to have it hang on here and have the wires come out on the side because the motherboard's right there. So that's the plan. I got all the stuff that I need, and that's the power supply, secondary power supply I'm going to use for this guy. So I'll go ahead and install it on there and let you guys know what it looks like. Hey guys, so I got the bracket on. So this is what the bracket looks like on top of here, and this is the video card, how it would hang. So it's pretty sturdy. Now I did have some problems with this bracket. This wire shelf is a food grade wire shelf, so I noticed that the openings here are a little bit smaller than other wire racks. So what I had to do was I actually had to take the video card off the bracket and kind of bend these two wires together to fit the bracket. But it's not hard, you could do it, but it's really secure, but there's no way I could take this bracket off, as you can see, unless I bend it back out, bend these wire shelf. Well, you could bend it a little, it'll bend right back. It's not much. So I had to do that, but it was easier for me to do it with the video card off. So when I got this on, then I put the video card on. So some wire shelf I've seen is a little bit wider, so it's easier for you to install this, but this particular wire shelf that I have, the gap is a little bit smaller, but it still fits fine. You just gotta bend the wires a little bit just to fit this guy in. So that's how the video card will sit, and I'll go ahead and hook it up and show you guys how I'm hooking up this card. Okay everyone, I'm back. So I got this card on with the GPU hanger, 6900 XT reference card here. I got it hooked up to a secondary power supply that's just hanging out on the shelf. Hooked up the PCIe on a riser, and I got the board that I was talking about hooked up to the second power supply, and this is the SATA connection that is going to this power supply that's powering up this rig that I have. I have only 5 video cards on here, counting the 6900 XT. So I'm ghetto rigging this right now. So as you can see, the 5th card is running outside the case and onto this wire shelf until my wire shelf comes in, because it's back order right now. Should be in a few days, but I wanted to get this card up and running and mining. So that is pretty much everything. Everything should be ready. So it's gonna get really noisy. I'm gonna power this guy up first. And then I'm gonna power this guy. And sounds like, looks like it's booting. This card's now powering up too, so looks like this board works pretty good. So it looks like it detected something.